Their #1 aviation freak, Mr. Godwin Ike, whose birthday falls on the 1st of October, is a proud sponsor of the Independence Day Family Fiesta, put together by Independent Television Abuja to celebrate Nigeria's independence anniversary. Friends and family members of Godwin Ike are invited to join him as he cuts his next birthday cake at the Independence Day Family Fiesta on the 1st of October, holding at Eric Villaggio Event Center, Biajim by Waterboard, Kubwa, Abuja. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Come, let's celebrate Mr. Godwin Ike.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, that's the birthday boy. A nice one indeed here. What a wonderful one here. Tomorrow we'll be marking it very big. A big, strong ITV crew will be on the ground here. We are so patriotic. We don't destroy government here. We say the right thing. We actually set agenda for discourse and sometimes find time as well to get people involved. We are involved in participatory broadcasting. Persons are involved and we interface together, solidly taking the country and the FCT to higher height. Yeah, Mr. Godike's birthday will be tomorrow. I'll be there on ground, celebrating it big way. Just nice one ice cake. You know those ice cake that you finish taking it from the shop. You got to cool up your car very much. When you get there, you leave the car on. It keeps steaming before you now cut. When you cut, you have a slice of the ice cream and you're good to roll. My name is Iharuata. Thanks for being back on the show. I've been away on leave for a long time now and coming back here to do some of the things I'm happy about it. But it's time for us to talk aviation. Sorry, we ought to start by 8 o'clock, but somehow we ate into the God Ike's time. But by management decision, we'll be giving him his whole full time here so that when we are talking aviation, analyzing it, how far we've gone, then we'll be doing it very well here. As I said earlier, and I also want to keep you posted, the program is not a monologue or just a dialogue between the presenter and the guest here. It is a participatory program where we can take from you, we can hear from you. And one thing special about this program is that Mr. Godwin Ike finds time to actually talk to government, talk to critical stakeholders, talk to those involved, engage them daily. So he wants you as well, who is also maybe an air traveler or someone who walk around the airport. Some of those guys don't even travel at all. They just walk around the airport and they see plane. Somebody saw plane all through his life and never entered once. He walk around the airport, just a cleaner. And the person every day watched the plane take off, land, but the person never entered the airplane one. But somehow, the person was happy with his life. But let's go back. Why do you take that off the screen? Let's put that back on the screen here so that we can get the number, get the contact, get how to reach him here. So that when we finish this program, you can follow him through. The videos here will be on his YouTube channel. The website is very functional, very active. The email address is not the one you just send mail and they all become bulk mail. No one reads them. It's going to follow your mail and reply to. His phone number is given out very rare, very rare. Not everyone gives out such sensitive phone number so that we can flow together. His Twitter handle is also there. Somehow, let's come back now to Mr. Godwin Ike so that I can greet him in French now. Welcome to the program, and let me tell you the way we say it in France. Bon anniversaire en avance.
Oh, merci
bon
beaucoup.
Bon anniversaire en avance.
Merci.
That's how we say it. Those of us who somewhat parler français, petit. Welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is your day. Tomorrow is your day. The world is going to collapse. Maybe it was certain that you were going to be born on that day. That's why the emperors decided that, look, hey, guy, we can't stay here the same day God in case was born. We need to leave the country for him. Let them run this country. A great child is going to be born on this day, and so we're exiting. Hey, black guys, run your thing. Somebody is going to be born on that day.
Oh, yes. And when Nigeria celebrates 59, I'll be celebrating 62.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's very, very. Are you looking a lot younger?
Well,
lot younger. Most persons in the civil service who are almost retiring now, when they say they want to retire, they look like your far senior brother.
Oh, well, lifestyle.
Right.
I keep telling anyone that bothers to listen. Living is an art.
That's right.
And if you know the art of living, you live well.
Correct.
As a matter of fact, what we eat, drink, and habits contribute to how healthy we retain and become. And a whole lot of people out there, either by ignorance or by carelessness or by obstinacy, you know, go on engaging in the wrong things and in the process hurt themselves.
Correct.
So what you pray fervently about is to ensure that you don't get involved in some kind of accident with this technology that we have all over the places. All kinds of accidents can come anybody's way. And so your prayer every morning, every afternoon, every night, as a matter of fact, every second when you speak to the Spirit on the inside of you, which is the Spirit of God, you say, God have mercy, God have mercy all the time, and continue to ensure that you know, He prevents any of those kind of things happening to you, and you can actually live beyond 100 and still looking good.
That's true. Okay, thank you very much. Happy birthday in advance. Tomorrow morning, please join the ITV crew at Eric Villaggio. We will be celebrating Mr. Godwin NEK, one full package. The jingles are running, and you'll be seeing them running so much here. Please be part of that show. A wonderful bumper package one here. We will be doing it all together. Today, we'll be looking at Nigeria at 59, how far the aviation sector have gone. We saw how the first plane landed. We saw some of the issues surrounding it. So far now, we are growing very much. We are having some looking like world-class airport terminal. Some nice planes are touching ground. Somehow we're flying, we're hitting the sky. Our airspace has saved. No recent air crash, although we had some fatal one before. We know about the Bellevue Flight 210 crash. Some other crashes, Sosoliso crash. But yet we are reviewing all of those things to see how best we can do a post-mortem of ourselves, or a pre-mortem, or a post-mortem, or somewhat an internal analysis, because the Holy Book says, if you judge yourself, you will not be judged. We're looking at all of these things here. I'm looking at Nigeria and 59, the aviation sector thus far. So let's hit the ground running now. How best, how far, how well are we navigating, or are we actually dominating the sky within our own little space?
The answer is no. We are not yet dominating the skies. And the reason is...
not even in the West African sub-region?
No. The reason is that we didn't flow with the momentum that we started as a nation. And when I talk about momentum, I talk about at the time when we had Nigeria Airways. It was an awesome airline, had a fleet of over 32 aircraft. And what's more, Nigerian Airways pilots were rated in the world, not just in Africa, in the world, as the best. And they had the best safety records. And so whatever we did to destroy that organization must never happen again in this country. My heart still bleeds, when I shared my story about when at the time at the Apapa office of Nigeria Airways, I was tagged must fly. I don't know if you ever watched that, because you weren't taking me at the time, it was Joseph. And when I told my story about at a point when I was traveling to UK virtually fortnightly, and occasionally monthly, and it was all Nigeria Airways. I never flew any other airline except Nigeria Airways. So it became so frequent that each time I walked into the Apapa office of Nigeria Airways, some of the sales young ladies and men there would say, "Hey, must fly is here." And yes, they gave me that tag. And what did that mean? Anytime I got there and they said the flight was full, somebody did something. I didn't know exactly what they were doing, but somebody did something there, and they got me a seat. And then I paid for my ticket, and I was happy. But during my deep research into what brought down Nigeria Airways, I realized that each time that airplane took off and went to London, half of the plane was occupied by non-paying passengers. Mostly.
That means then it was designed to fail.
That's correct.
It was designed to fail. When you are in business and you're not treating business as business, then you go to fail.
Mostly Nigerian Airways officials.
family
Some
members,
of them family members,
girlfriends,
going to shop, over the weekend and coming back, to some will spend 24 hours and the next day hop into the same plane and return to Lagos. Honestly, I didn't realize that, the compromise at the time that got must fly a seat was that somebody who already had a free seat had money collected on his or her behalf.
Oh, that's why they give you the seat.
Yes, somebody sold a seat. Because, I mean, it was on the computer, you would see that the plane was full. But must fly would get a seat. And I didn't know how it happened. I never knew. It was when I went into deep research, which I published, and then I had about 7 episodes of the rise and fall of Nigeria Airways. So those kind of silly things that went on. I mean, something silly could well still be going on somewhere in any of the sectors of the economy.
And even in Nigerian, I would call it now, Nigerian, what do I call it now, Nigerian, how do I put it now? Just that easy words here. Nigerian, what do I call it? Airline. One of the recent one we saw that is almost dying now, was booming some 6-7 years ago. Somebody, an official of that airline, told me clearly whether they are nosediving. I said, why? You're one of the best fleets. And I said, no, that most times the flight is used so much for personal trips. Some of the planes, when they started going to London, had too many of family friends, family members, that when that happens, that the plane will crash. Most times flights are cancelled because the plane needs to pick some persons going for parties somewhere, and everyone had to wait for 2-3 hours. And with that prediction, after I saw APCON took over that particular airline, and it was certain that it was at the point of it was nosediving.
That's correct.
And the management wasn't helping at all.
No. Yeah, the reason is people get away with things like this. If we were in a system where, the strong signal out there is that we have laws, that these laws have teeth, can bite, are willing to bite, and will bite when they catch you doing the wrong things. If that signal had been out there, of course, people will behave better. But the reason, individuals and group of individuals go on the way they are doing is because the people who did them in the past got away with them, and so the likelihood is that we're going to get away with this, and they do whatever they like, and they end up getting away with it. We need to really reorganize our legal system, reorganize everything about this country, and then put us on a path. Nigeria can easily become one of the greatest nations in the world. We've got very intelligent people, both within and outside.
Okay, now let's quickly take a quick run now and look at it from all perspectives. Well, just some ongoing analysis.
That's correct. At the moment, I must give it to the current administration, starting from the past 4 years, that a lot of invisible things have happened positively. I call them invisible because the ordinary man out there will not see some of the equipment installed. For instance, right now we are enjoying 100% coverage of our radar in the skies. What that means is that every airplane in the skies of Nigeria is monitored and seen. I mean,
anything that traverses our airspace as an aircraft would be captured.
That's correct.
Good.
I mean, there was a time when, as soon as you left, for instance, Abuja, midway to Lagos, nobody knew where you were anymore.
But is it working throughout the night?
Sorry?
Is it working throughout the night?
No, at the moment we're still having issues with night flights, in the sense that it's not about the radar, as a matter of fact, it's about the installations on the ground, night lights.
What I'm saying is, if you can capture or see any plane in
during the day. Oh, of course, you see them at night.
Well, I know at the time when the Americans had to go capture Bin Laden, people asked the Pakistani authority, you never sighted those helicopters playing around about
Well, that's a different ball game, I must tell you. Those are stealth machines. You know how the radar works. it shoots rays at the object in the sky, which reflects back to the radar equipment, and then the radar equipment, with that reflection back, is able to capture the altitude, the heading, and the speed of that object. And so that's what radar is all about. Now, but then if you pad up the same equipment with some sturdy materials, that's to say materials that will absorb the rays rather than reflect them back.
Okay.
So it incapacitates the radar machine. And that means it blinds.
It can't reach it.
No, it blinds the radar machine. It can't read that object. It can't pick up that object. It won't even tell where it's heading, the altitude and the speed of that object, because that
Just get there and dissolves.
That's correct. It doesn't reflect back to the equipment, and so that's why America has built a couple of helicopters and war jets known as stealth fighter bombers, and so anything that is stealthy is known to. Some of them are not 100% stealthy. It depends on the angle and the direction they are to the radar machine. But some are nearly 100%. So that means the radar will never observe them. And again, because of the nature of radar, if you fall below 5,000 feet, because the radar rays move this way. Yeah. Now, if you fall below it, even if you are vulnerable to being picked up by radar, below that level again, the radar will not find you. And that's why when most of these countries that launch either missiles or go for some bombing runs into other countries that are equipped heavily with radar machines, you find them flying very low. The whole idea is to avoid being picked up by the radar of that nation, and then by the time they soar back into the sky to hit, the time is too short for that country to respond and react to the attack. And so they quickly move in, deliver their ordnance and leave before anyone would know that anything was going on.
Let's come back now. Besides airspace coverage, which other one have we achieved?
We've got quite a lot of, for instance, I understand now that Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt have got Category 3 landing, that is instrument landing system. That means that any aircraft that is compliant, because it's not enough to just install them on the ground, airplanes must be upgraded to fly them. So any airplane that is Category 3 compliant can simply, come in virtually blind. You don't need to see anything. You just keep your eyes on your instrument, and then touch down nicely without any difficulty in safe landing. That is the beauty of Category 3, especially the 3C. So I do not know whether it's a 3A, B, or C that they have, but when I listened to the Honorable Minister Hadi Sirika during the 5th Aviation Forum, which I attended and contributed, which was the last one anyway he had in the last administration before he had the second chance to come in again. He read out quite a lot of achievements, most of which to the ordinary person out there are invisible. You don't know they are there, but they are there doing the job. And he mentioned about this Category 3 ILS, which is quite impressive. Other categories like the 1 and 2 will hang the airplane up there, and the pilot uses his skill to do the rest of coming in and touching down. And that meant that if you had a bad weather, you wouldn't be able to go in for that landing safely. And so you have to make a turnaround, or maybe leave completely for another airport where you have better weather situation. But the Category 3 brings you to 0 point. It terminates you right at the threshold of the runway. And so it's, we've got those, but flyers coming in and out of airport will notice those. It's only the pilots who are flying them that will know that this is available, and especially if you have an airplane that is compliant. And so it's quite a lot of achievements, but like I keep saying, and I mean every word of it, we have not yet scratched the surface. There's so much to do. Still a whole lot
but
to do.
at 59,
Yes.
and the world is appearing to be going on a supersonic speed, it appears we are still at the bicycle speed. Because if you go round, we've discussed this over and over again and again, the airport terminal, like what we see, is no longer airport terminal.
That's correct.
Across the world,
It's a marketplace.
It's just like one multi-global plaza.
That's right.
Where you
It's
just
a
go to the
marketplace.
airport terminal, you got some incentives, duty free.
That's right.
You enjoy the best of shopping. You just shop what you want to shop.
And hotels
rest
too.
there,
Airport
take
hotels.
your tea, take your hotels is there, take lunch and whatever. It's just a world of its own. You can miss your flights because it's too comfortable.
For instance,
But in our own case here, it's
it's quite.
just get to Abuja here.
But
Thank God for the smartphone. It keeps you busy. Otherwise, there's nothing to do.
That's correct. That's correct. And then what's more, the ambience of our airports, we haven't done well at all with the ambience. I do not know why haven't built the Abuja airport for so long. We're still battling with having multi-level car parks and developing an ambience where you come in, all cars disappear into parks that, that of course farm will earn quite a lot of money, because it's not going to be free. Maybe 30 minutes free, and then the rest of the time you spend there, you begin to pay. That's how it happens in most parts of the world. And nobody attends to you. It's automatic. As soon as you get to the gate, you press a button, and it times you immediately and shoot out the ticket. You pull the ticket, and the bar opens for you. You drive in and find a space and park. If you have a 30-minute limit, the timer is counting. At the end of the 30 minutes, it begins to count how much money you are owing. And as soon as you come, you go to the payment point, give them your ticket, they slip them through a machine.
That's we only say that. We say that here only at the Maitama High Court.
High Court, that's correct.
It's a beautiful place to park.
That's correct. So you see, what hurts me about some of these things is that it's not about money. It's all about attitude. We can afford the best in this country, but some
National reasons.
People are not paying attention to the things that can develop us. No attention is paid to where can we make the next billion, where can we make the next trillion. It's all about making money. And then the thoughts of those that are services.
But if we come and look at Nigeria at 59, looking at the sector of aviation here, some airports in the world are privately driven.
That's correct.
I'm not having too much government involvement at 59 here. If you look at the airport, some of the duties there, apart from security and some other ones, they are already concessioned. Government really got no business in the airport.
Even
when the security, few of them, and everything about the airport runs 100% private sector driven. They raise money. Government only plays supervisory role and a good role. But we have too much, and so empty.
You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Even when we concession here, we do not do them professionally.
Give them to somebody who knows somebody.
Yes, it's a question of man no man, and then you give the so-called concession to some individual or group of individuals that don't have the expertise to carry out. I tell you, last Friday I was invited by the Armed Forces Radio. And we were dealing with the fate of the physically challenged ones in our midst at our airports. And of course, one lady who is physically challenged that actually moves around with her motorized wheelchair, was live. As a matter of fact, if you go to YouTube, you're going to see that. I mean, not only YouTube, Facebook. If you go to Facebook and type in there Armed Forces Radio 107.7, you're going to be able to watch that video and see the discussions that went on there. And all our airports but one are physically challenged, unfriendly. All our public buildings, 100% of our public buildings have no provision for the physically challenged.
I think some already are adjusting it now.
That's what we need to do.
They're adjusting a little, but the problem is the lift.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. You see,
I know many have adjusted their entrance. They've cut some part of the staircase. They've make it a place where you can slip up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can go up here. Yeah. I've seen that in some ministries. But the other one is, some of them, their lifts are friendly. I think some of them, very few ones.
The blind ones, the technology has made it in such a way that...
Now, I don't know if you've been to Ben Gurion. Well, that's one place I really love. And even the airport, the main airport in Beijing. Yeah, no, that one I really spent time. Because I was delayed in eggs. We were delayed upon arrival. So I really took time to go around Ben Gurion. Even when we were coming back, I spent time around Ben Gurion. Got 3 hours, studying the facilities around. You see real big stretch of restrooms. The male, the female, and the physically challenged. The physically challenged, as big as it is, you have the male and the female in it.
That's what makes sense.
What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us?
Attitude.
What's wrong with us?
Nobody takes time to think through the problems we have and solutions that can be provided. Those that are saddled with running these organizations, especially the government agencies. As a matter of fact, on that program that I had on Friday at Armed Forces Radio, I mentioned very clearly that I visited the previous day one of the government offices. What did I find? I found people who should have been busy pouring through their files and thinking through, to offer solutions to the myriad of challenges that we have. And I saw charter boxes, people just chartering, or rather charting, and then eating groundnuts, banana, sweets and chewing gums.
I'm blaming the government.
And as a matter of fact, I saw a lady whose business was moving around with cookies and chocolates and sweets. Excuse me. Beautifully packed in a very nice container, moving from one table to the other, and people were selecting and paying her. That was business, trading business going on within a very highly sensitive and highly important government agency. I don't want to mention their name because it would be horribly embarrassing for government to hear that such a thing's happening there.
As our time flies, let's not keep you too much so that you go prepare for tomorrow's birthday. We'll be hitting it very hard here. Let's start to conclude here. Are we getting it? How do we get it?
It's a continuous process. We need to change attitude, which is what's bugging my mind at the moment. You can imagine that if you take a trip to the Ministry of Aviation right now, I wouldn't be sure what's going on there, but you probably will not be seeing that attitude of everyone. And by the way, why are we still carrying about fives? The world has gone beyond. Every serious-minded country right now is paperless. And that's why how you track who is doing his or her job and who is not. The technology is so perfect that when you set up a paperless system where I have a contribution to make in some activity going on, the officer that is next to me, right in the system, does his or her job, signs off right in the system there, and passes on to me. Now, any length of time I delay that job on my system, the system keeps the record of it. If I quickly do my bit and pass it on, the system tells the detail.
So I'm saying that we should upgrade our system, how we operate in our airports, the entire sector.
Should be paperless, so that you train people and get people serious. What it then means is that, unlike a situation where you put in a paper for something, and then after 1 week you get back and say, Oga never see more. It's yet to take action on it. And then where is the file? Nobody knows where the file is. And they begin to run from one office to the other. in the name of tracking, tracking fires.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Godwin.
Yes.
I'll cut you here. Tomorrow
Okay.
is Mr. Godwin Ake's birthday. We will be holding him with the ITV family at El Bilago at Kobwa. We will be celebrating with him. He promised us one very mighty ice cake. I don't know where we get the money from, but it's a very expensive cake. I pray, and he got a fine cash, so that means he can. But he will be marking 62 years old, 62 years of existence on the planet, older than Nigeria when it comes to being an independent nation here. But he's looking a lot younger than some of us who appear to be growing gray hair. And he said the secret is that the body is a machine or a system. You must nurture it very well. You don't just use your body anyhow. You must protect it and as well respond whenever the body is speaking to you. And eat the nice food. Eat nice food. Live a healthy life. And you will live younger. He's looking like a core member. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the program. As I said earlier on Friday.
Living is an art.
Living is an art.
You learn the
I
art
love
of
that.
living well.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Living is an art. And I wish him all the very best. And I say again, bon anniversaire on our bones.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Okay, on that note, we end the program here. Thank you very much for being with us. It's an unending discourse for now. Nigeria at 59, so much questions coming on board, so much to be discussed in every angle: health, education, human resource management, and natural resource exploration and management here. Education, everything in one pool. How far have we fared? Since the exit of the imperialists, are we doing better or are we slided back like we're saying in South Africa? We take a break. When we come on a break, the program this morning on ITV will continue. We'll be looking at some critical issues that will have the legal touch after this break.